We're going to talk about the most loved thing in all of the Cryptoverse, taxes. Yes, tax season's among us, and the inevitable saying that death and taxes are the two certainties in this world certainly rings true. But crypto's not like regular taxes. Trying to understand crypto taxes when it comes to swapping your tokens, airdrops, yield farming, and even trading NFTs can be as difficult as trying to eat your breakfast cereal with the fork. So in this video, we're going to take a look at one of the leading crypto tax softwares to make our lives that much easier. Let's dive in. So what we have here is a software called ZenLedger. If you're not familiar with ZenLedger, they've been around in the business for quite a while and they are professionals at doing crypto taxes. And that's what we're here for. So taking a look on their homepage, ZenLedger prides themselves on simplifying DeFi, NFT, and crypto taxes for investors and tax professionals. If you scroll down on the homepage, ZenLedger says it's easy to use in 3 simple steps. First, by importing your transactions. Second, by reviewing your transactions. And third, by simply downloading your forms. And I'll go over these 3 steps in the video shortly. Okay, let's move on to the first step, which is importing your transactions. So the interesting thing about ZenLedger is how versatile it is. According to the homepage, they support over 400 plus exchanges from Binance to Coinbase to Gemini, and they even support various wallets such as MetaMask Wallet, Ledger, and Coinbase Wallet, as well as different blockchains such as the Bitcoin blockchain, Cardano, and even EOS. Now, if you don't know anything about crypto taxes at all, or if this is your first time, I highly recommend you to actually learn a little bit about taxes in general. ZenLedger also has crypto tax guides, which you can check out yourself, as well as their frequently asked crypto tax questions, such as how is crypto tax even calculated? Now let's jump into actually getting started. Now you can get started by clicking on the green button on the top right, get started for free, or on the button right here. So there is a pricing system. Now ZenLedger does offer 4 different plans. It is free, but you only get 25 transactions with the free plan. You can get up to 100 with a starter, or if you're more of a crypto expert or use crypto on a daily or even weekly basis, you might want to consider the premium plan, which offers support for up to 5,000 transactions, or even the executive plan, which is basically unlimited. Now, if you want to track your DeFi, staking, and NFT transactions, you would definitely want at least a premium plan for this support. Also, if you're a TurboTax user, you'll be happy to know that ZenLedger also integrates with TurboTax. Now, if you scroll down right below the pricing table, you can find the tax professional prepared plans. These are good if you have a lot of transactions that you don't really want to deal with, or if you want a more hands-off approach, or you don't even know what you're doing with taxes, then this is highly recommended. You can get a consultation for $195 for a 30-minute consultation, and they'll walk you through all the steps from start to finish. You can even get your single-year tax report completely done by a tax professional, and that'll save you a lot of time, or you can opt for the multi-year tax report as well. Now, once you actually create your account, you'll be greeted with this screen that says start by adding all of your crypto transactions from your exchanges and wallets. So there's a getting started guide here if you don't know exactly what to do, but I'm going to be clicking on this add account button to actually add my first account. Now here's a screen where you can actually import your transactions. Right now, I'm going to be connecting my Binance accounts, so I'll be clicking on Binance right here. Now, you're not actually going to be logging in with your Binance account directly with ZenLedger. They have what is called an API, so you'll be connecting your API key with ZenLedger directly. Now, for my purpose, I'm going to be heading over to my Binance.com account, and to get my API key, I'll be heading over to API Management. Now, once I'm over on the API Management dashboard, I can click on Create Tax Report API. This can create a read-only API key so that ZenLedger can actually look at my transactions. Okay, so now that I've actually created my API, I'm going to be copying it. Now, keep in mind, if you're not using Binance.com, if you're using Coinbase Exchange, for example, you're going to be going over your own set of rules and procedures on getting your own API key on that exchange. And you'll probably have to go through different steps if you're going to be using different exchanges with ZenLedger as well. So keep that in mind. Okay, so now that I copied and pasted my API into ZenLedger, it's going to be importing my transactions. Okay, now once you're done, if you go back to your dashboard, you'll be able to see your imported tokens as well as the amount in dollar terms of your holdings. Now, since I only imported my Binance Exchange account, I'm going to also be importing my MetaMask wallet. So I'm going to be going back to the imports tab and adding another account. I can click on wallet import here and then click on MetaMask. Now the good thing with ZenLedger is that you don't actually have to connect or approve anything with your wallet. All you have to do is really give them your public address. This means there's no way that they can actually steal funds from your MetaMask account. So that's really safe in case you're wondering about the safety aspect. Now I can give them my public address by clicking on the MetaMask icon on the top right of my browser, and then clicking on copy to clipboard. I can give my wallet a custom name, as well as select the coin or the type of network. For this purpose, I'm going to be using Ethereum, and then I'll paste my wallet address here. Now once that's done, I can add the coin. Now once that's done, you can see the green check mark right here that says my transaction fetch was successful. So I can go back to the dashboard and check. So I can click on imports, and then import a history to actually see if my imports were successful. Now, as you can see, I added my MetaMask with Ethereum network and also my Binance down below. So that completes step number 1, importing my transactions. Now I'm going to go to step number 2, which is reviewing my transactions. So in order to review my transactions, I'm going to go ahead and click on download all transactions and save the file that I have as a CSV file. I'm going to use a file that I received to import it into Google Sheets. Now, while you can download your complete transactions report, you can also go to Imports and Transactions and see a list of all the transactions directly in the software. Now, this overview tab is pretty nifty because you can also filter by the type of token. Say, for example, I want to search all my transactions for wrapped Bitcoin. I can also search by category and categorize all the types of transactions that I have and filter them that way. For example, I can see all the transactions that were a deposit. I can also filter by the exchange. I can also filter by the date here. I can select a from and a to filter by the time range that I want to see the transactions. Now, I can also go to imports up here and then go to transactions. Now, rather than actually downloading the CSV file and going through every single transaction, the more efficient way is actually to review these transactions myself. As you can see right here, I have 2,637 transactions that actually need to be reviewed. Now, on my transactions list right here, I can see every single transaction that I have that actually needs to be classified. I can do that by clicking on the green arrow here on the right side and then classifying the transaction. For example, I can mark it as an airdrop if it was a buy, if I received it from mining, if I received it from staking, etc. All these different types of transactions I can classify it as. Now keep in mind, I only need to do this because these transactions don't have the right source. They actually have missing sources that the ZenLedger platform can't really connect these transactions to. So keep in mind when you're going through your own transactions, if you don't have all the sources connected and ZenLedger doesn't understand where every single transaction is coming from or going to, you might have to actually go through this yourself and review your transactions that need to have their own sources connected to them. Okay, so now that I imported the file, you can see that I have all my transactions right here. Now this sheet is super useful because you can see the timestamp, the exact time that you actually did the transaction, and you can see the type of transaction, whether it's a transaction that you received, whether you sent the transaction, whether it was a dividend such as from an earning program, even whether it is from a liquidity pool type transaction. You can even see the fee amount as well as the currency, the exchange, and whether your exchange or wallet is from the US or not. Because of course, the US has those very naughty crypto laws. Okay, step number 2 is complete. Now we can move on to step number 3. Download your forms. Of course, crypto taxes wouldn't be complete without all these forms and signing them, and the fun that comes with signing them too. So let's head on over to ZenLedger. I know all these transactions look like a lot. Luckily, there's an easier way to calculate all your taxes using ZenLedger's taxes feature. You can actually go over and click on taxes right here, and now this nice little robot will finalize my calculations and see whether I've gained or actually lost during this crypto season. Now, once that little robot has solved all of my taxes, I have this screen that shows that our calculations show probable missing data in your trades. That just means if I sent a transaction from my exchange or wallet, they don't really know exactly where it went. Did I sell the cryptocurrency? Did I gift it to somebody, etc.? So if you want a complete breakdown of all your taxes, I'd recommend you actually resolve all your transactions. If you want to see all of your transactional data, and that's highly recommended, then you would probably need to import all of your exchange accounts and wallet addresses that you have ever used, even if you're only doing it for this tax season. But for my purposes, just for now, I'm going to show my report. Now I can see my capital gains in terms of total proceeds, total basis, and total capital gains, both in the short term and the long term. Now I can easily download my forms by going to the tax forms place and then clicking on one of these nice IRS forms. Now what's really nifty is that you can actually download the form with all of your transactions and details filled out for you. So you don't have to go through all the headache of filling it out yourself. The tax software does it for you. Now keep in mind guys, even though I have all the nice forms filled out for me and everything, ZenLedger is only a software. It doesn't really file all the taxes for you. So the next step for you is to actually give your forms to your own tax accountant or your own tax software that you're using, like TurboTax. Now if you scroll down on the tax forms list right here, you can find on the bottom left under Unified Accounting, Grand Unified Spreadsheet. Now this is really important because although ZenLedger really only provides services for US-based tax forms, if you're an international user, you can also use ZenLedger. Basically, the Grand Unified Accounting Spreadsheet is a unified spreadsheet for all your imported transactions from different exchanges and wallets. You can easily download the spreadsheet here and import that data to your local country's tax forms, so even if you're not in the US, this software will make your life a lot easier. Now guys, I hope you learned a little bit about crypto taxes and ZenLedger and how it really is quite simple to do your crypto taxes. If you don't have the software, well, have fun with doing it by paper and pencil because that doesn't really sound too fun. And it also sounds like a very, very time-consuming process. So guys, if you want to check out this tax software yourself and use it for your own benefit, you can go to zenledger.io. As always guys, stay safe in the crypto space and have an amazing day.